Hey! Welcome to the last episode of the console log for the year 2017. 2017, 20 episodes in 2017. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me, making these episodes, teaching and sharing these things that I really care about with you, the audience. I have enjoyed every moment of it. But yes, this is the last episode of 2017. I'm taking the next 2 weeks off because I'm going on vacation. I will not be around. I don't want to stress myself. I also don't want to make subpar content for you. So there will be a little break for 2 weeks. And I will be back on January 8th, which is again on Monday. I actually wanted to ask everyone a question that watches this videos. How do you think about this format? Do you like this? I'm thinking, so I don't know if you saw, but there was a new post that I posted last week about React 16. Really exciting stuff. Got over 1,000 views in under a week, which is a big deal for me, which was ecstatic to see. But my question is, should I be focusing more on those things? Like, is that what people want to see more? Is that more interesting to you, the audience that is watching this? There's many things that I want to actually delve more in depth about. Things like WebAssembly, a Webpack, doing a huge deep dive into like how to use Webpack effectively, Reason ML, or just a plain thing like a VS Code tutorial. Like, I'm a very big editor power user, so I want to show all my secrets and tricks that I use to actually make VS Code work the best that I can do. Like Command D multi-line select, that is beyond powerful. If you know how to use that, then you will be doing great things with your own coding. But like, tell me what you think. Like, should I keep doing the console log as you see it now, these long 10-minute segments? Should I make these more in-depth guides about like a specific thing that I can then, really go in depth and teach you more about? Should I maybe break up the console log into like multiple segments? So like, right now I have like 4 in 1, break it up into like 5 minutes throughout the week. So you have like bite sizes that you can actually like bite into as you go there. In any case, that was the preamble now for just some bookkeeping to do, because I wanted to ask you your opinion about these things. Because I'm thinking about these things, and I'll be thinking about them for the next 2 weeks. So anything that you have to say, I definitely want to hear. Definitely want to hear. In this year, I don't want to hear it in because I have my reasons. In any case, so again, this is the console log. This is the week of December 11th through December 17th. We have some really exciting things this week as well. As always, very exciting things. I wouldn't lie to you, would I? Without that being said, let's just start talking about the week of JavaScript this past week. First fun thing to share this week was that the State of JavaScript 2017 was officially released into the interwebs. If you don't know what the State of JavaScript 2017 is, it is a collection of data from over 20,000 developers. There was an online survey that you could go on, type in like your feedback about frameworks, languages, what testing you use, and then this whole thing has been collected together and then shared in a way that you can actually see. And there's been some interesting things in there that I thought was pretty interesting. For example, in terms of frameworks where people actually use day to day, React is at the top with about 14,000 people that use it, still like it, want to keep using it. The next jump from there is then no framework, which is 9.5. Then you have a huge jump down to Angular 1, which is actually 4.7 thousand people that really enjoy using it. So that just to see that disparity of React to nothing to Angular 1. And then even shocking after that is Vue. Vue.js has 4.6. That has exploded onto the screen. Scene, not screen. Well, both actually. That was really cool. State management, the biggest one still in use today is just plain old REST APIs. Shouldn't be a surprise there. Redux comes in second with like almost half the votes. REST APIs 21,000 and Redux is 11,000. So that is just a huge disparity in what people are using to manage their state in their applications. For backend, what I find pretty funny about this is that number 1 is, no surprise, Express, which is 15,000 people. And the next framework after that, which is a huge disparity, is Koa, which is 2.2 thousand. And what makes me chuckle about that is that Koa is from the same people behind Express. So effectively it's just, Express version 2, but those are the top 2 backend frameworks used for JavaScript. So good on those people for making a framework that is enjoyed and loved by many people. And last but not least, testing. Mocha's in the lead with 11,000 people that enjoy it. Jazz 9.2. And then a young upstart, Jest, is coming in at 5.9 thousand. So there's more information about this on the actual blog post. Definitely delve into it if you are interested in seeing what people in your community are actually using day to day. It's been fun to poke through. There's like nice little graphs and things that you can click around, but that is the state of JavaScript in 2017, and no better time to look at that than at the end of 2017. I don't know if you heard of this thing called ReasonML. It's a simple, let me just break down what they say on the website. It is a simple, fast, and quality type-safe code while leveraging both the JavaScript and OCaml ecosystems. In layman's terms, it is a way to write OCaml-looking code that can compile down to JavaScript. Well, the big thing about this past week is that it has now been relicensed under MIT, which is a similar trend for all of Facebook's other properties as well, but that means that if you want to use it in your company, there's less fear about having any lawyery stuff get in the way of that. I don't want to go too deep into ReasonML. I want to talk about that more in a different video that will be coming as soon as I have a reason to talk about ReasonML. So this is another very interesting thing that happened this past week. There was an issue opened on the WhatWG GitHub project about adding observables into the DOM. That was a lot of stuff that I just said, so let me actually break it down a little bit. What is observables? Observables are a thing that are like promises where they are asynchronous, but whereas they differ from promises. Whereas a promise, when you resolve it, you get one value. With an observable, you can subscribe to updates, and you get given those updates as things happen over time. So you can think of it as a promise with more than one value. What is the WhatWG? It stands for the Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group. Effectively, it is a community of people that are working on how to extend HTML and the DOM, so what you see in the browser every day. And this issue is talking about bringing the power of observables into the DOM, namely by, as the GitHub issue says, improving ergonomics of events with observables. And why this is a big deal is because of this example right here, where you can actually listen to a click event, filter over those click events for things that just match this class name, map over it, and then be told when that transformation of events has occurred and you can use it in your application. Observables are very powerful, and they're trying to talk about how they can add it to the DOM first as a way to then hopefully provide greater value to actually adding it into the JavaScript spec itself. So this is very exciting. This is still very much in the discussion phase. No promise that it'll happen, but you can observe for the results later. I'm pretty proud of that one. Last but not least, there was a very long blog post this past week from the Node.js community about the current state of implementation and planning for ESModules. ESModules, in case you weren't familiar, is a new ES6 feature. It's actually a specification for ECMAScript read JavaScript modules. And there has been a lot of contention around this topic in the past year about how to include CommonJS node modules with ESModules with like .mjs. And this blog post actually does a very good job of stating where things are right now. This blog post talks about things that have been decided, such as shipping an async loader in Node, also about how to create the core Node modules with named exports so that it can be used a little bit more elegantly with ES modules as well. And this blog post also goes into some of the things where they're currently struggling and trying to figure out what to actually do with ES modules and CommonJS modules. Two of the main things that they're talking about that have not yet been decided on is the interoperability between an ES module and a CommonJS module. By that they mean, like, if you have an ES module, you want to include a CommonJS module, how do you do that in a way that the Node binary understands how to do that? Another thing they're talking about is lexically scoped variables such as _dir_name, _file name, all these things that you can just have globally in a node module right now. How do you actually expose that? One of the thoughts right now is to use the import.meta object, and the reasons why that's good, the reason why that can actually be bad. Very interesting. This is just, you know, good to be aware about the things and the way that the mode system is going forward. But very, very exciting to see this transparency from them as well. So definitely looking forward to seeing how things move forward from there. And that was the console log, the last one of 2017. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for following me and subscribing onto YouTube as well. Every subscriber count that I get, I give a little squeal. My wife can attest to that as well. Very exciting that you are on this ride with me, and I'm going to miss you in the 2 weeks, but I'm going to enjoy the break as well, because these videos, while they take you about 10 minutes to watch, they take me much longer to make. But again, curious about your thoughts about the format going forward, how I can best make this format enjoyable and accessible for you. So with that, I want to say Happy New Year, a very, very happy and a healthy New Year. May your code be bug-free and your browser never lag. That is it for me. Again, I'm Harry Wolf. This is the console log. I'll see you in 2018, everybody. Bye-bye.